Inspector General of Police James Opon-Bueno there with the Interior Minister. Joseph is still there with us. Well, the minority in Parliament has rejected a directive by the President for a committee of inquiry to be established to look into the killings in Ejura. And addressing a media briefing in Parliament House a short while ago, the minority leader, Haruna Idrisu, said they'd rather see a presidential commission of inquiry and not a ministerial committee. He says the Ministry of Interior is already complicit and cannot be counted on to oversee a fair investigation. Like I said, Joseph will join me again, but listen to Haruna Idrisu, the minority leader.
Is the worrying absorption into the security agencies, in particular the police and the Ghana Armed Forces, of MPP apparatchiks vigilantes. They are not professional. They can never be professional. You know their modus operandi as they chase even MPP ministers out. We are not surprised that they may be at the center of this. Understandably, we have heard President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo instruct the Minister for Interior for a commission of inquiry into this matter. The President must accept full responsibility for reducing this country to a police state. No respect for fundamental human rights and freedoms, no respect for the dignity of man, no respect for the liberty of Ghanaian citizens, and no respect to the constitutionally guaranteed right to life, which is a first-generation guaranteed constitutional right. The excess of the military and the police in Ejura, resulting in the lives of three other persons added to Ibrahim Mohammed Kaka. The President's instruction is for a ministerial commission of inquiry. We reject it. That is not good enough. We want a commission of inquiry within the meaning of Article 278 of the 1992 Constitution. The President must appoint a sole commissioner or two or more persons to support a commissioner, just like the Emil Short Commission on Ayawaso Wagon. We want that type of commission of inquiry, not a ministerial commission of inquiry. There is complicity of state security agencies. They cannot absolve themselves. Want to see the President appoint a justice of the Superior Court or a retired justice of the Supreme Court to lead this process, because ultimately we will accept recommendations that calls for reforms. Let me use this opportunity to call on the youth who are acting out of frustrations, who are acting out of a helpless situation, that they should not let this generate into an anomalous situation in Ghana, a situation of normlessness. Whilst government must take the needed steps to address the growing unemployment and the growing economic hardships in our country, we find the deaths regrettable. We extend our profound sympathies and condolences to the bereaved family, but we are calling for restraint on the part of the Ejura youth and other youth across Ghana. As for the demand to fix the country, the revolution of it continues, and the consciousness of it continues. This maiming and killing will not stop it until right is done for that purpose. I'll be happy to take a few questions from you, and God bless for listening. We want a commission of inquiry established within the meaning of Article 278 of the 1992 Constitution to provide an illumination on the happenings in Ejura. We cannot accept any further loss of lives in Ghana in the name of persons protesting the hardships in the country and in the name of persons protesting the unprofessional conduct of men in uniform. I'll be happy to take your questions.
The Minority Leader, Haruna Idrisu, there addressing a press conference in Parliament. Joseph will still join us shortly. But what do you think? We've posted this on our social media handle, the statement from President Akufo-Addo, and let's take a look at some of your responses or what you think about this. Teacher Mante says, the truth is we have read more and more of such statements, and not for one, can I say, have yielded an outcome that is worth discussing. It is rather a way of covering up issues in this country. If you would be honest, tell me what happened to the full recommendations of the Emil Short Commission of Inquiry on the disturbing occurrence at Ayawaso. This is apparently nothing new. Young Arthur says, so no, we go here. At the end, nothing will happen. God bless Akufo-Addo for letting all Ghanaians down. And if God truly exists, he will judge us all. Chum Francis says, but COP Duku details led to shooting incidents. So why another committee to drink tea? Waste of taxpayers' money. Naaf Kamona says the white paper day for him to be issued after all. Basalba Knight says the offenders will even be promoted. Kinzology says, well, you have some very harsh words that we do not condone on this platform. God knows says, as usual. Lucy Pess. SZ Yankee says, nothing good will come out of it. Abrantia Julia says, always paperwork. Dennis White Gold, what do you need again, Nana? All this is Azan. But Sauba again says it will come to naught. So many of you do not seem to have a lot of confidence in a public inquiry. But, well, we'll see how that one goes. Joseph is in Parliament. Joseph, so the minority has already rubbished the statement from the presidency. They actually do not think this is what we need at the moment. I am certain there was a response from the majority side, wasn't there?
We're waiting to hear from them officially on what their response to this will be, except that a lot of them have given the indication that they think the move by the president is very much in order in terms of ordering for an investigation into this. And they're citing previous commissions that have been established, including what had to do with the Ayawaso West Wagon election, which made a number of recommendations. That the point they make is, if it's even about controlling crowd and all of that, that comes in handy in terms of what possible recommendations should be. And so for a lot of them, they think that this is something that should focus in terms of an investigation into what specifically happened yesterday, and a committee handling that would very much be in order as far as probing yesterday's incident is concerned. But we're waiting to hear from them officially on what their response to this would be.
Looks like a lot going on in Parliament. I mean, there is the PAC, the Public Accounts Committee that's meeting. We've seen Kojo Nkrumah show up. Of course, we've seen the Interior Minister and the IGP show up. We're expecting Ken Oforiatta, the Finance Minister, to also show up. Wrap it up for us. What's been happening at the PAC, as well as what else is happening in Parliament?
And so at the sitting of the Public Accounts Committee, we had officials from the Ghana Revenue Authority appear with Deputy Finance Minister Abena Osei-Asare to come respond to questions about some infractions as contained in the 2017 Auditor General's report. And currently, we are expecting the Deputy Minister for Employment and Labour Relations, Bright Rekubrobe, before the committee, leading a number of representatives from various agencies under that ministry to come respond to questions. On the floor itself, sitting began about an hour ago, and as we speak, the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Samuel Abu-Jinapor, is on the floor responding to questions about the burning of excavators and why the government has resorted to doing that as part of the fight against illegal mining activities. Let me just quickly quote to you very briefly a few points that he's been making on the floor of the House, even as he responds to that specific question that's come from Samuel Okujetu-Ablakwa, who is actually the Member of Parliament for North Tongue and also ranking member on Parliament Foreign Affairs Committee. Mr. Samuel Abu-Jinapor makes the point that when it comes to the burning of excavators, the legal justification for that has to do with the fact that they actually, when you look at Article 36(9) of the Constitution, It forms part of the directive principles of state policy, and it's supposed to guide the citizenry. And it's very specific. Mr. Jinapo says that the state shall take appropriate measures needed to protect and safeguard the national environment for posterity, and shall seek cooperation with other state bodies for the purpose of protecting the wider international environment for mankind. And so he's been quoting this extensively, defending the burning of excavators and insisting that he doesn't see a reason why an excavator should be sitting beside water bodies to even be burned down in the first place. And the minority MPs are clearly not happy with the responses that he's been giving, and they've been challenging that justification that he's given. And so he is still on the floor, even as the House questions him further on that particular issue. A little later in the day, we're expecting a report on the implementation of the Right to Information Bill to be laid by the Information Minister, Kojo Nkrumah, right on the floor as well. So those are some of the items. The House started sitting sometime after 3 p.m., and it's one of the days that they didn't sit in the morning, although a lot of MPs have been complaining that it looks like they themselves are not abiding by time, even after they moved the sitting from 10 o'clock to 2 p.m. Gifty.
Joseph, looks like a full bouquet that you have to deal with there. We'll leave you to it. And of course, we know that you bring us updates in our subsequent bulletins. Joseph Opoku Gakpo is our parliamentary affairs correspondent, and he joined me live from Parliament.